blah, 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 blah. Hi everybody, this is Kathy Ife, and I am here to do your March 31st, 2015 WOD. It has been a while since I've done a WOD video. Brandon has been doing the WOD videos for us, but I'm excited. I'm really excited to be back and kind of sharing my heart with you. I've had a lot going on in my mind and my heart, and have tried to get my thoughts organized, and I just have to speak off the cuff. I tried to get notes down and outline to make this flow, but I just work better when I speak from my heart. So really, I just right out of the gates, the point of this message is to focus on, once again, you hear it over and over again, to talk about Advocare as a relationship business. This is a business of building relationships. And frankly, that's the kind of life I desire to lead. That's what Brandon and I, that's our purpose, is to add value through relationships, whether that be as husband and wife, as a mother and father to our children, as a friend, as a stranger, in a grocery store. I desire, and I think most of you feel this way, which is why you were attracted to Advocare in the first place. You desire to be a difference maker, to be a positive influence in somebody's life, to add value where value's needed. And also, I encourage us to seek out opportunities to have value added to our lives. I cannot tell you how many amazing, incredible people have come into our lives because of the vehicle of Advocare, because of this business. Strangers that have walked into our home for mixers, for 2-on-1s, that have just made our lives so much better. Have some incredible relationships that have blossomed through this vehicle of Advocare. So one of the reasons I started thinking about this, a couple of different reasons. Last night, Brandon and I, and many of you know, we have been in an adoption process since fall of 2011, right before our Advocare was introduced into our lives. And it has been a process. It has been a journey. And along the way, we have been blessed tremendously. We have 2 sons, Grafton, who's 5, and Samson, who's 6 months. And many of you know that this pregnancy with Samson was a difficult one for me. And March of 2014, I was in ICU with this little peanut inside my womb, and was asked by a doctor if this was a pregnancy I wanted to have, because the way they would have treated my condition would have been very differently had I not been pregnant. And so I look at this sweet little angel that had a 6-month appointment today, with his roly self and his little toes and his cooing and his all the cute little sounds that babies make. And I think, man, we are just so fortunate to be able to have that little guy with us. And I'm so fortunate to have been given another day to relish in being a mom. What an incredible gift. So, anyway, in this journey with our adoption, we have been tremendously blessed and been given perspective. And the other night, last night, we were looking at agencies again, and something dawned on me. We found an agency that we are really impressed with, and we're calling them tomorrow. And this is why. This is why I'm so convicted by this agency, because I started reading the testimonies of some of these adoptive families. And I have to read a piece of it because I think it's so applicable to the business of Advocare. It says, we were feeling defeated in our adoption journey, to say the least. In the midst of our disruption, a friend of ours connected us with this agency. First of all, to have them pray for our broken hearts and for us. Through this amazingly supportive community, we were able to connect with others who had experienced something similar to what we were going through. At a time when we felt like it would be easier to give up the pursuit of adoption, we felt more encouraged to put one foot in front of the other and take the next step. how does this apply to our business in Advocare? My desire, and I hope that we can have a mind switch, because this mind switch will be pivotal, will make such an impact in your business, your personal business, and reaching your own personal goals. If we can start to think about exactly what this testimony says, that remember the people that we are sharing Advocare with, we may be meeting them at a place where they're feeling defeated in their journey. Meet them there first. Slow down before you speed up. Hold their hand, walk with them, hear their story, understand where they're coming from, and in turn, that empowers us to be able to become an amazingly supportive community. She said, where we were able to connect with others who had experienced something similar to what we were going through. We cannot connect with others, and we cannot be that support system for others if we don't ask good questions first, if we don't listen to what others are telling us. If we're trying to throw out a 24-day challenge solution before we've even heard their story, if we're so eager to share our story, but we haven't even first heard their story, we're doing things backward. And if we're going to build relationships, and if we're going to make an impact in people's lives, and if we're going to be able to make a difference for our own families and leave a legacy for our families, and if we're going to be able to pay that forward to others, we've got to slow down first. This is a relationship business. So ask yourselves, how much do you know about the person you're sharing with? I know we say take your product, share your story, introduce people to your leaders. But there's a piece in there that's really important. If you miss it, those three pieces will never string together. It's take your product, ask good questions, meet people where they are, invest in them, get to know them. Then you get to share your story. And because you've created a safe relationship and a safe network for them to open up about themselves, and you can then open up also vulnerably, where they will again open up some more, then you have a leg to stand on to introduce them to something more. Whether that be for product or for finances. That's where you build that rapport so that when you want to connect them to your leaders, like we're supposed to in the success system, that they trust that. They trust that connection. They trust you. And I'm going to tell you, if you do this, if we really start thinking about these things, man, this journey gets so much better. This process of growing and changing for your family is worth so much more, because you will end up with some of the most amazing people in your life that without Advocare, they wouldn't even be there. They wouldn't even be there. We have been so blessed by people. It is the people in this business that makes Advocare so different from anything else out there. And I believe that with all of my heart. So again, guys, I encourage us to think about those things. Think about the relationship side of this business, because that's the lasting piece. That's the legacy piece. That's the piece that if March of 2014 were my final breath, if that was my last day, I want to look back and make sure I treated people with patience and compassion and kindness and humility and gentleness. And that if Advocare didn't add value to their life, maybe I did. So I hope this helps. I hope this gives some perspective, even if there's just one little piece. And I thank you guys for the opportunity to rejoin you in this WOD group. Have a wonderful night. God bless.